Okay, I'm actually going to give you the answers to the universe right now. You ready for this? I don't know if you are ready for this. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. What if you found out that I wasn't human after all? What if you found out that I was sent here for completely different reasons, and that it's basically to slowly ease you into the fact that you are so expansive beyond your comprehension that if we'd have discussed this maybe just a few years ago, you'd either shut off my channel, think I'm insane, or be frightened to death. I hope you'll subscribe. I'm going to share the truth about the universe, the absolute truth about the universe today. Have you read my book? If you read my book, you'll never have to read another spiritual book again. It really tells all, pretty much what I'm going to tell you today. Now, before we get started, again, I hope you'll subscribe, but I have free videos creating online businesses that are planet conscious for anyone who wants to participate in a new world. We're going to actually talk about that right now. What's the new world? One that is totally conscious. Consciousness doesn't implode on itself. It wouldn't do anything that's stupid. Unconsciousness will. I'm going to start out with the actual truth about everything. The truth of everything. There are not 2 trillion galaxies out there, as I just read in a science newsletter. There are unlimited galaxies. It never ends. There aren't just 10 or 11 or 12 dimensions. There are unlimited dimensions. There is no such thing as time. Everything is happening at one moment. And that's unexplainable because time doesn't exist. Therefore, everything is just happening, not simultaneously. Everything is connected. Now, they take photons and they split it and send them out 14 miles and they test one and they see what happens to the other and it reacts immediately. How did it know? It was never separated. Separation is an illusion created by us. It's an appearance of something. It appears to be something so that we can experience it, but impossible to separate it. In other words, you and I aren't actually individuals at all. The one energy of all things runs through and is and creates everything all at once, with past, present, and future existing all in one time period that doesn't exist. In other words, everything is, including probabilities, which are all played out also. Too much to take on? Think I'm crazy? Why? Because as a human being, we are so unconscious that we cannot handle expansiveness. So we limit ourselves because we think it's safe. When you go into consciousness, you stop asking questions because you know that everything plays out exactly the way it's supposed to, and that you as a player get to participate in the illusion. You also know that what you do and think and believe, your actions, everything, is of the one, and that there's no ending point to that. In other words, it doesn't end here or here or here. I used to say, consciousness, it ends 6 feet and then 10 feet, and that's science. They really haven't figured out yet that there is no separation or ending to anything. Nothing ever gets separated. It continually goes on and on. So if we are part male and female, sperm and egg, that's energy of two people, and we are that, then who are we? Aren't we part of that? And they were part of that, and they were part of that. If everything's an energy field, then it all is totally connected. Everything is infinite. If you took a particle and you split it, there are two. Split it, there are two. Split it, there are two. It's infinite. There is no point when you can't stop splitting it. It said, well, no, we've got it down to, if you get it down to anything, it's still a particle. Maybe on such a small level that humans can't detect it, but it still exists and could be split and split and split and split and split. As long as you can split something, it's infinite, right? Because that means there's two parts to whatever you split, and whatever you take and you split it, there's two parts, and two parts size is irrelevant. It's infinite, infinite. Why am I telling you this? Because you have a choice to use this in any way that you want. That you can step out of any limiting thinking, which is 90% of what we believe. That we believe there is this way and that way. And you can also understand that there is a balance that takes place here that causes certain things to happen. It's allowed because everything is allowed. The imbalance determines the final result of whatever's being played out. So if there's more negativity and limitations within this seeming play, seeming existence that doesn't actually end, but this seeming existence that we've created as seeming individuals, then this repercussion, this result is going to be different. When you balance it, we have health. So in other words, as humans, if there are challenges and there's a counterbalance to that, that creates something beautiful, there's a beautiful balance that creates a life of, let's just say, the challenge and triumphs that we as humans actually love. We'd be bored out of our brains if everything were perfect. There'd be no challenge to go after something, no races or contests or none of that. I talked about the Twilight Zone where the gambler, one episode, the gambler, he just wants to win all the time, and he's such a loser. He rarely wins, and when he does, all the women love him. He says, I want that all the time. But when he gets it, he can't stand it because he realized that's what gambling is. It's not winning all the time so that when you do, it's magnificent. And he was willing to lose to experience that so that when he wins, it's amazing. And this is what we're doing. Now, when you turn on other people, you create a great imbalance because that is you. It is totally connected, is all. And it's not just connected, it's seamless. It's not like I'm here and we're entangled and then we connect. No, we create. So you and I, one energy, everything's one energy field. When we place our attention to a specific illusion within the one, we create within that. But there's no separation and then I entangle with that separate thing. We always were one. I just went into that movie theater or on that floor. Everything's one thing happening. everything. And there is no separation of frequencies either. It just all blends in. And you can go to any level you desire, because you, as part of that, have the ability. You choose. Everything that's going on right now is resting on our ability to release all limitations, separation, choices, truths, that there is one, because everything's true, and whatever you choose will be. And so it's up to you right now, because we're going to go into an imbalance that could determine a temporary illusion ending that we'll all experience, because we're all playing the game that is all things. Yes, it can appear to be separate. Otherwise, we wouldn't get to know what that is. Are you ready to step out of unconsciousness? Are you ready to catch what's coming out of your mouth that is harmful, that is anger, that is desire, greed, judgment? Are you ready to let it go? It is the great imbalance. It is the water that we yell at, that crinkles up and turns black. Right? You've seen those experiments. We can say beautiful things. We can heal our bodies. We can go outside of them, because I am that. You have to break through that fear to do it. And it might be a little scary, because we are conditioned. We've been playing this role long enough and disconnected, seemingly, from the knowledge, the consciousness of what we are, to experience fear. Fear is part of the human experience. It serves a very great purpose. It truly does. Are you ready to step out of it? The stepping out of it is a huge step. It will bring in things that are magnificent. When I say all things exist, you can stop looking for one answer. Are aliens malevolent or benevolent? They're both, just as we are. We just seem to have an imbalance, more so than that playing out, than that game. We have an imbalance here. We hear stories, but they're running into military jets. What military jets? Isn't that sort of a joke to say that? Why do we have military jets in the first place? Are they running into us, or are we running into them? There's 101 ways to look at everything, because everything has its own perspective according to its desires and the frequency it's on. A lower frequency can totally justify killing somebody for food for their family. I had to. Of course you did, in that reality. And that'll be the one you live in. And then somebody will come and do the same to you, because that's how it works. We receive that which we give. There's something beautiful out there, and you can live in that world. And yes, you'll see all the different creations of all things. Observe it. Celebrate it. Embrace it. And choose. None of it has power over you. None of it has power over you. And so whatever you are observing and choosing, you become that. It's just that simple. And the more you can release any opinion either way, you can play out everything. All you have to do is focus on something, and it will appear. If you're not there yet, then ask yourself, what are you supposed to learn? What's going on right now that would stop you from doing that? Because it's a choice. because one has no limits. That's the answer to all things. In the universe, there's no such thing. It is way beyond that. And there's no multi-universes. Where does one end and start? Have you ever noticed, scientists, multiverses? Multiverses? What, there's one here and no, there's wormholes, and there's no ending to anything. It's all connected. It's all connected. They're all just doorways to new things, experiences, frequencies, everything. And it all blends in together beautifully. And it's yours to discover. It's yours to play with. And things will happen that you can't understand. And you'll think, well, wait a second. I was going into that space, but perhaps the experience that you're having was exactly why you came here. And as a human, you can't comprehend that. So you want to have logic to everything. We need logic as humans. The ego wants to know why. Fairness. This shouldn't be happening. It has no value. Everything has value. Everything is so beyond our comprehension that we can't explain it. And so we shouldn't try. So I hope you'll purchase my book. I think it'll be mind-blowing. Now, those of you who've purchased have told me that you've read it numerous times. We're going into the tipping point. That is the final, the knowing. What's the knowing? You stop asking questions because you know. You know that you can't understand it, comprehend it. You're not supposed to. And even when we step out of these dense bodies, we may not have the answers. That opens another gateway into another existence and experience too. Are you ready for this? There are endless layers upon layers upon layers. Endless things we can't comprehend. Have you ever had one of those dreams where it's geometry? I've had them lately. Things are just geometric and math and forms, and sort of unnerving. It's just beyond my comprehension. Let it all go. You will never have an answer. Neither does anyone out there. And everybody who shares something, a perspective, it's true. Whistleblowers, all those people diving into psionics, that's the latest thing. What is that? Somebody likened it to a Ouija board. Humans opening up gateways that they don't understand and not know what's coming through there. And then we'll name it good or bad. Because, well, we're humans. That's what we do. It's tough to let that go, but I know you can. And if you do, get ready. Things will start to happen for you that are amazing. Miracles. Because you're going to let all the rules go, right? When you let go of limits, all bets are off. Anything can happen. So, stop listening to the people who think that they have that one answer, that they can name one thing that is right and that there is something wrong. It all exists. It's all about what you choose. Let's create something beautiful. Every choice of yours matters. Quit questioning yourself as a human being. That's a limitation. You are absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. All those of you who've gone down in the description, you can see all the products that I use and recommend that are planet friendly and businesses that are doing amazing things for our planet with no toxins, no plastic, trying to do things that are going to elevate us to a higher frequency of existence in the illusion. If you want to participate in it, be a conscious consumer and a creator. If you guys want to come over to Digital Explorers, be a creator. I'll show you how we can monetize it in a physical world that has some pretty cool stuff that we can use and experience. There's nothing to be afraid of because you're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.